Welcome back to Avalon and Ninth. Please make sure to subscribe, like, comment, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Hello again and welcome to my channel. I am here with another 52 weeks of fandom plan with me. We are doing weeks 44 and 45. So, just like the last video, this first one has a kit from Tilly B Plans. Once again, I've had this kit in my stash for a little bit, and it's finally made it here. Okay, so, I'm already going to say it. So I ended up, the wobbling, there we go. I had my hair up in a bun while I was doing all this filming, and every time I would bend over, my bun would hit the light, which would then shake the camera, because the camera is stationed right in between the light. It's a horrible, horrible thing. And so if you make it through these videos and you laugh at my wobbling going on, thank you. Because, I don't know how to make this, work. So, one of these days I will figure out this filming thing. You would think by now I'd have it, but every time I go to sit down and film, it's like I'm doing it for the first time. I got some skills, but there's other parts that I still don't have the skills in, and getting my tripod set up and not hitting it with my bun on my head is definitely one skill I haven't mastered yet. So, just have to laugh at that. So, obviously, it's another Harry Potter kit, because I don't think you can have a year of fandom without any Harry Potter. Which brings me, because I'm going to be doing some setup here for not too much longer, brings me to some of the things that I think are going to be coming down the pipeline this upcoming year. And I'm not going to dive too much into it, but I'm changing the theme of next year's 52 weeks project. I think having another year of fandom-based stuff is not what needs to be done for the channel. I'm thinking of doing something different, and I went through a whole bunch of kits and that I have in my stash, and I was just looking in, and I think I want to do, it's going to be foiled. Everything's going to be foiled. So let's get into this one real quick. Pause, break, here we go, and then we'll come right back. 1512. Michelangelo's painting of the Sistine Chapel ceiling opens up to the public. So I was thinking of doing, I don't have enough to be able to do 52 weeks of Christmas. That was one that kind of got onto my mind. Another one was maybe 52 weeks of holidays. So for January, February, and March, I would do Valentine's Day kits, since that's the major holiday in there. And then April, May, June, I would do Easter kits. And then July, August, September would be 4th of July kits. And then October, November, December would be Christmas kits, since I've done the 52 weeks of Halloween. That's one thing that I was thinking. Pause. Let's talk about this. 2016. Chicago Cubs win the first World Series since 1908. The Billy Goat curse, placed in 1945, is snapped. So apparently there was the Chicago Cubs went to this bar, and the manager didn't like the way that they were acting, things like that, put a curse on them, and they never won a World Series until 2016. So it was 80 years type thing, curse. And I know that it was a really huge deal. So back to it. And then I was thinking, well, what if I just pick a season where I do 52 weeks of summer kits, because there's so many summer kits, or 52 weeks of fall kits, 52 weeks of winter kits, whatever, spring kits, whatever it may be. So I do know that I want to have it all foiled. However, I'm a little stuck on what the theme of the kits needs to be. So, anyways, moving on to Wednesday, 1948. The Chicago Tribune mistakenly declares Thomas Dewey as winning the presidential election. So they had printed all of these papers and was Dewey's president, Dewey wins the presidency, blah, blah, blah. And I think it was Truman that ended up winning, if I remember correctly. I don't remember if I remember correctly. That's, and it was a really big faux pas, and it was yeah, you don't run and start printing things, because they wanted to be the first to declare who the winner was so that they could say that they were the first to get the papers out and all that stuff. Anyways, big faux pas, and they had to reprint everything. That's like a very costly mistake. Like from a business perspective, that's a really costly mistake. All right, on to Thursday. 1922, entrance to King Tut's tomb is discovered by archaeologist Howard Carter and his team. So I actually have another one of these about when they open up his tomb. So this was the discovery, and a little bit later, is it the next week? Or is it the week after? It's within the next few weeks. After this, they end up opening it, and we talk about that. So I always wonder what it would have been like, because obviously, like, there's only so much, like, archaeology is not like a huge thing. Maybe it wasn't back in the 20s either. But I just, like, think back and I'm like, how would it have been to have been like an archaeologist or on an archaeology team and discover some of these things, you know, especially in Egypt? Like, that would just be amazing. If I had a time machine, there would definitely be some things I would travel back to, and the discovery of some of the amazing things in the pyramids in Egypt would definitely be one. Definitely. So, on Friday the 5th, 1940, FDR is re-elected to a third term. Oh, it wasn't true. Was it true? No, it wasn't. I'm getting my dates mixed up. 1948. Okay, 1940. He is the only president in the United States who has been afforded the opportunity to serve 3 terms. It was after he was elected for a third term that Congress and Senate went through, and we ratified an amendment that prevents a president from serving more than 2 terms. So, there's your little history lowdown. All right, 1860. Abraham Lincoln is elected the 16th president of the United States and is the first Republican to do so due to a divided Democratic Party. So he ran as a Republican. The Democratic Party was very divided. They could not decide on a candidate. They could not get their support behind a candidate, and because of that, Abraham Lincoln won the presidency. So division does not serve anybody any good purposes, is basically what it was. But honestly, like, I think he's an amazing president. He, you know, the things that happened under his presidency, I think was really great. Obviously, society just sometimes sucks as human beings in general, and everything, but the heart was right, and the things that he needed to do was right. 1916, Jeannette Rankin of Montana becomes first U.S. Congresswoman. So I learned also later on in doing this, she was a pacifist, and she was the only person in Congress to vote against declaring war in World War II. She was the only one who did not want to go to war. So that is what I learned. See, I learned all these very, very interesting things doing this project, and that's what I absolutely love doing. I'm gonna come up with like a different theme to do for the 52 weeks. So as far as like what kind of kits we're gonna use, that's gonna be something different. But the theme, I'm gonna dive in a little bit more on terms of like what I talk about. I don't know. So moving on to week 45. So this kit is from Planet. That shop is no longer open. I've had it for what, 4 years. Like I said, I have some kits that I've had in my stash for a very, very long time. So I only have the full boxes here, so I needed to pull out some washi, and then I definitely pulled out functional stickers from my stash, which I absolutely adore, that I have, and that they can match, maybe not perfectly, but they coordinate very, very well. So grabbed out some of this like starred washi from Simply Gilded, and used the smaller one. I end up using the smaller one up top, and then the larger one down on bottom. I was looking at my rainbow foiled black washi from Frankengoop, because so pretty, you guys. The foil is on that is so pretty, and I almost went with it, but I felt like it might have not jived well, because it's kind of really weird having like dripping like waves and stuff with this kit. At least that was just me. So anyways, so I'm just doing a whole bunch of setup, because I do find that setting things up beforehand allows for me to gauge how much room I have to write, instead of writing and then being like, oh, I've got to still put down a full box. How do I do this? because my writing can be kind of large and messy sometimes. Maybe not completely messy, like, let's be honest. It's not horribly messy like my husband's is, but it can be a little sloppy. How about that? Sloppy. It's still readable, but it's sloppy. If I was in school, I would definitely be getting marks for not having nice and appropriate handwriting. In fact, actually, do you remember growing up report cards? I don't know if this was just my area, but I remember growing up, there would be report cards, and some of the things that you would get dinged on or talked on was like handwriting. And sometimes they would be like, handwriting's so great, blah, blah, blah. And then other times, like, teacher would be like, handwriting needs a lot of work. It's still very sloppy, not uniform, this, that, and the other. And I'm kind of like, who the cares? I mean, as an 8-year-old, I was like, who cares? Can you still read it? Okay. Because last I learned, like, when I went to the doctors the other day, like, they wrote stuff and I couldn't read it. You know, how many people know doctors that have really messy handwriting? So I just felt like some things were just like, why? So if you're one of those people who have still readable but sometimes sloppy handwriting, I got you. We're soul friends, because I understand it. I do not have consistent handwriting as clearly as you guys can see. Hence the reason why I like to use a lot of scripts, because it aids in consistency. So those of you that also order a lot of scripts, I know who you are. Like fist bump, virtual fist bump. Like, I got you. All right. Ooh, I'm getting the 1895, not 1985, 1895. German physicist Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen, I don't know how to pronounce that, I don't speak German, becomes the first person to observe X-rays. And once again, our lives are changed. 1989, East Germany opens the Berlin Wall, allowing travel between East and West Germany. Obviously, this is something that goes down in history. We've heard about the fall of the Berlin Wall over and over again, all that fun stuff. 1969, what are you doing, cat? My cat is on my filming area. Like, I have the light turned on, and she's over there just, like, bathing under this filming light. It's absolutely ridiculous. But now she's making a lot of noise, so. 1969, Sesame Street debuts and has now been aired in more than 120 countries. And we're going to finish up, and I'm going to make sure that I don't, like, get into a deeper subject, because we don't have a lot of time left. So, oh my gosh, cat, what are you doing? Yeah, as soon as I'm done filming this video, I'm going to go pick her up and I'm going to put her out of this room, because that's annoying behind me. You guys can't hear it, but I can. So, 1942, the draft age is lowered from 21 to 18 and raised from 36 to 37 now that the U.S. is involved in World War II. So Congress had to pass this. Originally, the draft here in the United States was from, if you were a male between the ages of 21 to 37, you had to sign up for the draft, meaning they could draft you at any time for a war. They lowered it to the age of 18 and raised it to 37 because they needed men to help fight the war. And that kind of just stuck. They never reversed it. They kept it that way post-World War II. And in fact, now, what was it? Sometime earlier this year, they just now included the draft, that women now have to sign up for the draft. So I got lots of thoughts on that one. As somebody who served in the military, I got lots of thoughts on that one. All right, 2004, Scott Peterson is convicted of murdering his wife Lacey and their unborn son. I find this quite fitting, because didn't he just, like, get something else done? Like, he's been in the news. I haven't been reading it, but whatever. I'm just glad he's around behind jail. 1953, Indiana Textbook Commission member wants Robin Hood banned from schools. Reason is they believe that it is communist because Robin Hood steals from the rich to give to the poor. That was the reasoning. 1953, arguments about books happening. 2021, arguments about books still happening. It's never going to be a dead subject. 1970, a jet carrying most of the Marshall University football team crashes, killing everyone on board. Of course, there's a movie out there about it. I enjoy the movie. I enjoy movies about real things that keep me interested, even if it kind of is very emotional. So I am very much like, based on a real life story. I really love those types of movies. So this is what I have for you today. I'm going to open it up here in just a minute so you can take a look at the entire spread. But I hope you're enjoying this project. I can't believe it's almost over, and I hope that you have learned something along the way just like I have. Until next time, you guys, have a great one. I will see you in my next video, and happy planning. Okay? Bye now.